My name is Susan Willman, and I'm the Director of the Office of Accessibility and Disability Services, otherwise known as ADS. I'd like to welcome you to Towson University and to our first virtual orientation for students and their families. We very much hope to be able to meet you in person very soon. This video will introduce you to the ADS staff and provide you with an overview of ADS and the services we provide. We have a great staff, and I'd like each of them to introduce themselves to you now.
Hello and welcome to Towson. My name is Robin McCrae and I'm the Associate Director of Accessibility and Disability Services.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Walsh, Senior Disability Coordinator. Welcome to Towson.
Hi, welcome to Towson. I'm Julie Munsky and I am the Administrative Assistant in ADS.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Rogan and I'm the Learning Disability Specialist in the ADS office.
Hi, this is Mary T. Casterline. I'm one of the disability specialists here in ADS. Welcome to Towson.
Hi, my name is Steven, and I'm a disability specialist in the Office of Accessibility and Disability Services. Welcome to Towson.
Hello, my name is Meredith Harris, and I am the Assistive Technology Coordinator for the office. Welcome to Towson.
Hello, this is Amy Bernier, Accommodation Specialist from the Testing Center.
Greetings, this is Patrick Chicholsky, and I'm the Testing Center Coordinator for Accessibility and Disability Services at Towson University. Welcome.
Now that you've met the ADS staff, let me give you a brief overview of our office, including what we do and the students that we serve. The Office of Accessibility and Disability Services is located in the Administration Building on the corner of York Road and Cross Campus Drive. The office is staffed with 11 ADS specialists from various professional backgrounds who you just met. We provide accommodations and services to students with disabilities registered with our office in order to ensure they're provided with equal access to Towson University's courses, programs, and activities. Our office includes a large, well-equipped testing center that facilitates testing accommodations for students and faculty. We currently have about 2,000 students registered with us. This is approximately 9% of TU's total student population. We serve both undergraduate and graduate students who have disabilities involving learning, attention, mobility, vision, hearing, chronic health conditions, and mental health. Our students' top 5 majors are listed on the bottom of the slide, and number 1 is business administration. In higher education, reasonable accommodations are modifications or adjustments that enable a student with a disability to have access to the university's programs, courses, and activities. All students are responsible for meeting essential course and program standards. For students with disabilities, the purpose of an accommodation is to assist them in doing that. ADS offers many accommodations and services, some of which you can see on the slide. In addition to the academic accommodations listed there, we provide campus access accommodations, such as paratransit services, and housing accommodations that are needed for students to have equal access to our residence halls. We offer accommodations for internships as well. Some of the other services we provide includes assisting students with the transition from high school or community college as they start at Towson, helping students advocate with their professors, providing short-term help with organization and time management, and making referrals to other resources on and off campus. Now let me turn this over to Julie to tell you how you can get started with ADS.
The first thing you need to know to get started with ADS is to go to our website,
towson.edu/ADS. Click on Getting Started with ADS. Then click on the link to the application and complete it online. When you click Submit at the end, it will automatically go to the ADS mail drop. If you have current documentation of your disability, you can send it to tuads@towson.edu or fax it to 410-704-4247. An ADS specialist will contact you to schedule a meeting for a personal interview to discuss your disability, reasonable accommodations, and support services once we have your application and documentation. Do you have questions about what type of documentation to submit? Jen is going to share more detailed information about documentation.
We often get a lot of questions regarding what kind of documentation you should be submitting during your application process. In general, we encourage everyone to submit whatever documentation they have. Doing so will allow us to review it and then specifically tell you if it meets the documentation requirements or not, and then give you specific feedback about what we will need to move forward. More specifically, documentation requirements varies by disability. Mental health and ADHD disabilities needs to come from a licensed mental health professional and should be dated within the past 6 months. Medical disability documentation should also be within the past 6 months and should be completed by a licensed medical provider who specializes in that disability. We do provide disability verification forms for both medical disabilities and mental health disabilities, including ADHD, that your provider can fill out. While it is not required that your provider only use this form, it does provide guidance as to what kind of information we need. These forms can be found on our website. On the right-hand side, in the yellow box, you will want to choose Forms. From there, you will see a section called For Medical and Mental Health Providers. Each of these forms is linked there to either share with your provider directly or printing it and bringing it to your next appointment. For learning disabilities, we will need a copy of the evaluation which diagnoses the learning disability, and that should be dated within the past 3 to 5 years. Documents such as 504s, IEPs, or accommodation memos from previous schools will not be sufficient documentation on their own, but can be included to establish a history of accommodations. While these may be sent to us to review, more comprehensive documentation will be required, such as the initial assessment or evaluative information used to determine the need for the 504 plan or IEP. Please remember, we are here to help you navigate this process. Please reach out to us with questions, and remember, submit what you have and let us give you feedback. Once we have your application and documentation, a specialist will reach out to you to schedule an intake meeting. Here is Kelly to tell you more about that.
While we really look forward to meeting all of our students face-to-face, at this time we're conducting intake meetings virtually. Here's what you can expect. First, make sure you're checking your TU email. That is how your ADS specialist will contact you. Once we identify a date and time, we will send you a link to join a video meeting. If that's not accessible to you, we can also conduct the meeting by phone. This initial intake meeting will take approximately 1 hour and will give you and your specialist a chance to get to know each other. We will discuss your disability and historically the impact it has had on you and your education, types of support you have received in the past, and accommodations you are currently requesting. For all the parents tuning in, you're more than welcome to join the intake meeting if your student is comfortable with that. However, we do look to the student to take the lead in expressing their needs and experiences. Know that while we are establishing accommodations during this initial meeting, they can be updated and changed throughout your time at TU. Different classes may require different accommodations, so it is important that you communicate regularly with your professors and ADS specialist. At the conclusion of our meeting, your specialist will share an accommodation memo with you. Stephen is going to tell you more about that.
An accommodations memo is a form that documents your registration with Accessibility and Disability Services. It also specifies your approved accommodations. Memos include a variety of information that help your professors provide you with access to your accommodations. Memos indicate both you and your ADS specialist's name and email address, as well as the current semester and date the memo was printed. They include a list of approved accommodations and instructions on how those accommodations may be provided. New memos are created each semester, and it is your responsibility to share them with the professors early in the term. We encourage you to schedule a meeting or visit during office hours to share your memo so that you can discuss your accommodations. This can be done via phone or video conference for courses with an online learning component. Prior to meeting, review your accommodations so that you have a good understanding of what accommodations are relevant for each course and how they may be implemented. Although you do not have to disclose your specific disability, make sure you can inform your professor how it impacts you in the classroom. Sharing accommodations memos is one of the responsibilities of a student. Mary T is going to share information on the responsibilities of students, professors, and ADS staff.
At the college level, the process for receiving accommodations is through an interactive process between you, the ADS office, and the faculty. While you will likely interact with many members of our staff, your ADS specialist will be your primary representative and contact with the ADS office. After evaluating your documentation, they'll reach out to schedule your intake meeting, make sure you know where our office is located, the services we offer, and the procedures for accessing accommodations. They will discuss your requests, approve appropriate accommodations, and provide you with your ADS memos to give to your professors. The ADS office will maintain a confidential file for you with your documentation and any other pertinent information should you wish to revisit your approved accommodations. They will communicate with professors as needed to facilitate accommodations while at the same time protecting your privacy and confidentiality. Ultimately, they will ensure equal access to courses, programs, and services. The second part of the equation is you, and you're going to see how your responsibilities are interconnected with those of both the ADS office and the faculty. You will need to initiate requests for accommodations in a timely manner, preferably early in the semester, and to be an active participant in your intake meeting with your specialist. This is where you'll inform them of your accommodation needs and discuss the appropriate documentation you provided. As you've already heard from Stephen, you will need to provide a copy of your memos with your listed accommodations to each of your professors. You're expected to communicate any problems or issues that arise as soon as possible, as it's always easier to fix a small problem quickly than to wait for it to grow into something much more complicated. Your specialist cannot work to resolve something that they don't know about. And last but not least, you are responsible for reaching out to the ADS office for new memos each semester. You can stop by any time at the beginning of the semester to request copies. No appointment necessary. Finally, our faculty have shared responsibilities as well. They are responsible for establishing the essential course requirements and evaluating all students, including students with disabilities, on this basis. They should provide ADS students with the opportunity to discuss their memos and accommodations privately and support and implement accommodations as indicated. Faculty are expected to work with ADS if an accommodation request conflicts with essential course requirements. And as is true for the ADS office, faculty are expected to respect a student's right to privacy and confidentiality. Now that you better understand your role in the interactive process, let's talk more about accommodations. One accommodation we frequently collaborate on is testing, and Amy is going to tell you more about that now.
I will be the first person you see when you visit the testing center. Once we are permitted back on campus, we have a testing center within the Accessibility and Disability Services office located in the administration building to help ensure that you have access to your testing accommodations.
The testing center is for ADS students who are approved for testing accommodations. Testing accommodations such as extended time are approved for both face-to-face and online courses. Inside the testing center, you will find that we provide a reduced distraction environment and are organized into cubicles. Each cubicle has a desk and computer. We have earplugs, noise canceling, headphones, and white noise machines.
Now, more information about the process and how to use the testing center will be provided by Patrick.
Professors may be able to provide your testing accommodations in the classroom, but if they cannot, you should request to take your exams in the testing center. For every quiz or exam that you wish to have proctored in the testing center, you will need to submit a testing request at least 5 business days in advance of the scheduled date. Being proactive in making your testing requests helps for cohesive planning with your professor in order for us to have your exam ready for you for a successful testing appointment. We have 40 testing stations, 25 of which have computers, and some of the most common testing accommodations are extended time, reduced distraction environment, and reading and writing software. Meredith can now tell you more about some of the assistive technology that we have available.
AT is an accommodation available to registered students who are approved for it. You will have a conversation with your specialist during your intake meeting about your needs. Within the testing center, we have a variety of AT available. We offer Kurzweil, which is a software that reads text out loud, and Dragon, which is a speech-to-text software. We also offer various low vision and blind technologies, such as a screen reader JAWS, a screen magnifier zoom text, and CCTVs for print materials. In addition to the AT available in the testing center, we offer two main types of AT. For note-taking, we loan Smart Pens and SonarSense Audio Note Taker. These technologies allow students to audio record their lectures, giving them the ability to listen to it after class. Students may also request textbooks in an alternative format. To do so, we use Kurzweil. Kurzweil is software that will read your textbooks out loud. Low vision and blind students may request their text in other digital formats, such as Microsoft Word and Adobe PDF. Even in a virtual environment, we will ensure that your AT accommodations are available to you. Now, Robin will share some tips to help you prepare for virtual learning.
There are many benefits to taking online classes, and there are also some challenges. Here are some tips we think will be helpful as you prepare for your online experience. Tip number 1. Create a dedicated workspace that has access to power, a good internet connection, and where you can minimize any distractions. Avoid surfing the web or checking social media when you're in your workspace. Tip number 2. Review your syllabus as soon as it is available to help you prepare for this semester. Familiarize yourself with technology needed for each class and download any required software. Tip number 3. Create a weekly schedule and follow a daily routine. Block off times to attend live lectures, to watch pre-recorded lectures, and to complete homework. Schedule regular times for meals, exercise, relaxing, and socializing. Maintain consistent times for waking up and going to bed. Tip number 4. Manage your email since you may be receiving more while working remotely. Block off 2 to 3 times throughout the day to read and respond to emails. Organize your emails by creating folders based on course or topic, and use rules to automatically organize incoming emails. Tip number 5. Organize and track your deadlines. Record due dates for exams, projects, and papers on a hard copy monthly calendar. Create electronic folders for each course. Keep a copy of everything you submit in the event that a technology problem requires you to resubmit your work. Tip number 6. Communicate early and often. There are fewer naturally occurring opportunities to communicate with professors and classmates in an online environment. This is why it's so important to plan for how you will engage with others.
Thank you for attending this information session on the Office of Accessibility and Disability Services. We hope you learned a lot about our office. If you still have questions, please feel free to follow up. All of our contact information is on the screen. Welcome to Towson!